Okay. I am going to demonstrate the process of tracing with limited resources. If you have a piece of tracing paper, let's say I want to get this image onto a piece of wood, onto a board, onto drawing paper, and I want to be able to trace it. The process would be I would take a piece of tracing paper and put it over it. If I have tape, I would use tape. In this case, I do have tape, so I'm going to use it just to help. I could do it without it, but this helps it stay stationary. And this is a kind of a drafting tape, not overly sticky so it ruins anything. If I have a pencil, I will then just trace along the edge. And since I'm kind of in a position to do lines moving in this direction, I'm going to do that first. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't so great. Last but not least, okay, now I have the outline traced, so I will pull it off of this paper gently so I don't ruin the book. Okay. Now, if it wasn't important to, like, I guess, whether it was this direction or this direction, I could just flip it over and put some pressure on it and this would leave this line on there. But it is important. This is a Chinese character, so it can't be backwards. So what I do have to do is I have to put this pencil, which is a soft pencil. It's important to use a soft pencil. This is a 6B. I have to put this line on this side of this tracing so that when I flip it over and then redraw the line, it'll imprint it onto there. Now, in this case, what I would do is I'm going to do this a little backwards. So basically you have to trace this thing 3 times. You got to do it. The original tracing, then this second tracing to put the lead on the back side of the tracing paper. You guys, and you can see it's leaving a mark because what's going on is what I originally traced is leaving it there, hence how we're going to trace it afterwards. Because I'm going to flip it over and get it the correct way. Now that I've completed that, and I want to trace it on something, Now I've made a mess over here, but that's okay. I have plenty of room right here to do this actual tracing. So then I flip it the way it's supposed to, and since I have lead on the back side, I now can do the very same thing, and you'll see what happens. Okay, I'm going to trace this line down. Okay, oops, that one wasn't so good. Okay, now I pull off one piece of tape and check, see if I didn't forget any lines. Because if I did, then I could just put this back down because it's kind of will hold it in place. But I didn't forget any lines. And there is, not this, but this. There's my tracing, and I can fill it in, do whatever I want. So with a pencil, one pencil and one piece of tracing paper, that's how you do a tracing. You have to flip it over and draw on the back side to get a deposit of this carbon on the back. And then, now you could trace it, this is when you have limited resources. You could trace this with carbon paper if you have that. You can make carbon paper by putting graphite on one side and then rubbing it with acetone. But if that you don't have all that stuff handy and you just want to do a quick tracing, this is a very handy way to do it. Okay, that's the process of tracing. Thank you.